We're back, baby. What the heck is going on, everybody? Oh my goodness. Mr. Chains himself back on the channel. It's been like a month. I honestly cannot believe that, like a whole month, but work was killing me. I told you guys, I updated you guys, but a few of you were wondering where I was. I was working overtime at Amazon trying to get your packages on time. You're welcome. Nah, just kidding, but that's really what I was doing. I was working. But guess what? We're back. We have a disc golf vlog. First off, hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. Today we're just gonna have some fun. Probably go out to Arthur O. Fisher and just throw shots. That's all I want to do. I haven't played. I've probably played 2, 3, maybe 4 times. Once a week maybe is what I've played, which is not a whole lot for me. And I could definitely tell that some of my touch was off when I was playing during those rounds. So excited to be back. Wow, that's kind of sweet. Look at that wall. That's my collection. Let me show you what I got for Christmas really quickly. Some of you guys might hate it, some of you guys might love it, but I just have to show you because I feel like this thing is just so beautiful. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen it, but check this out. Look what my mom actually got me. 4-time Paul Macbeth zone with the signature, which is absolutely nuts to me. Cannot believe they pulled this off. My brother Austin is in all the Facebook collector pages, was able to pick this up somehow without me noticing because I'm also in those pages. Goes perfectly with all of my claw discs here. I got a 5-time zone there, 4-time zone there, and a couple of buzzes. I think we're breaking that out today though. I would absolutely love to know what discs or disc golf equipment you guys got for Christmas. Let me know down in the comments. Let me read what good stuff that you guys got. That's always exciting to know. But today, like I said, we're gonna go to Arthur O. Fisher. We're just gonna throw shots. We're gonna try to, you know, throw some decent shots, make some big putts. I'm gonna bring out some new discs actually. So discgolfdealsusa.com sent me over these probably over a month ago. We got the time lapse. We're gonna be talking about the time lapse today. They sent me a brand new nuke, which I'm excited to throw. And then this might be one of the most beautiful discs I've ever seen in my life. Like, look how clean that is. I love simple stuff. The gold and black, this thing is ridiculously amazing. But yeah, we're gonna throw these in the bag and just see kind of how they're flying. I'm excited to kind of give you my thoughts on the time lapse. I know it's been out for a while. I got some opinions on it. Now I'm not gonna lie, I woke up today and this was a pretty disappointing sight. Very wet outside. But to be honest with you, that's not gonna stop me today. Some days that might stop me, not today. I'm just so excited to throw disc golf disc again, which is crazy. It's just a plastic frisbee, plastic disc, but so excited. Ooh, jeez. Oh, home sweet home. Luckily, it's looking a little bit drier over in this area. But regardless, I'm sure the grass is still wet. Luckily, I have my Idios with me to keep my feet dry. Really recommend these shoes. You can use Chase and Chains for 10% off, which is like $12 or $13 off if you're looking for new disc golf shoes. I'd recommend it. Good old Arthur O. Fisher. Mainly, I wanted to come here today because I've been working on my form a lot in the net, in the garage, and this is a pretty open course to see if I'm throwing a little bit further. I really do feel like I have a few shots that are going further, but a lot of times I'm throwing into a net, so I'm really not sure. But this is kind of a fun bomber course. Hole 1 is way down there behind those trees there, about 500 feet, par 4. I really need to get warmed up a little bit because, whew, it's a little cold out here. Probably should have wore a little bit more clothing here. These pants are rather thin. Start the day off just throwing a simple buzz. All right, if I can throw a driver just like that, probably be pretty good. I'm just gonna hop right into this. We got lightweight nuke and Zeus off the tee of hole 1. A little high. If it gets past the tree, yeah, it's on the other side. That's actually really good positioning. Little high for what I usually like. I like a little bit more of a line drive, but somehow that got through that tree. In the summer when that tree is full of leaves, I doubt that gets through. Then we got this lightweight nuke that I just recently put back in the bag for fun. Oh, I pulled the shit out of that. Honestly, as my first drive, I couldn't have asked for a better one. Got a little zone approach shot. This is really where I saw my touch kind of leave me the past few rounds I've played. Sit, 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 sit. Sorry, Mom. Stole the dish towels. I didn't have any other towels, and I was kind of in a hurry to get here because I wanted to throw so bad. I probably won't show you every shot today. I'm not really playing for score today, so if I kind of skip around a lot, that's the reason. I just want to show you good shots, give you good content. You will definitely see that. And that. Man, I forgot that this hole is always blasted out by the sun, which makes it really hard to see the discs when I throw them. Hopefully you can see them a little bit here. I'll throw the time lapse, even though we might have to throw it again so you can see its flight. It gets to the ground so fast. There we go. That's a scorch. There you go. That looked blasted too. So as I'm drying these off, I want to talk about the time lapse a little bit because, to be honest, it was probably the most anticipated release of the entire year. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I really feel like it was. You know, how big Simon's name is, how big Simon is, and just his personality. Everybody loves the man. So you're gonna buy his stuff, you're excited to see his new line. But to be honest with you, I don't think the time lapse is anything all that special. And maybe if I had a bigger arm like Simon, I mean, he can throw forever. If I had that type of arm, maybe I think the time lapse is special. But for an amateur like me, it's just another overstable disc. Just now I got my Zeus to go 420. I just ranged it with my rangefinder. 420 with my Zeus, and you can kind of see how the time lapse flew for me. I mean, it dumped off way up there. I could see myself using it for windy days, or if I needed that strong skip or to get to the ground quickly. Not calling it a bad disc. It's just nothing all that special. I don't think the plastic is all that great. Personally, I find it to be very hard and not very comfortable, I guess. But that's just me. And I haven't really thrown a whole lot of MVP. So if you're, you know, an MVP thrower, maybe you have different opinions on this. You probably do. Once again, nothing against it. I'm sure it's a great disc. I'm sure it's a great disc for those of you who can throw further. And even if you're looking for something overstable, I'm sure you still am like, oh, I love this disc, and that's completely fine. As I've been doing YouTube and doing disc reviews, you realize that companies are just making the same disc over and over, just with their name on it. And then there becomes a time where, for me to find a disc that is truly special, I feel like it takes a lot. It takes a lot to replace something in my bag. Before I was doing disc reviews, before I was doing all the YouTube, I would buy everything. I didn't really know the difference. You know, I would probably buy a Firebird and then buy a Raptor. And while they're different discs, they do kind of similar things. I'm sure people would argue about that, but they're very similar is what I'm trying to get at. Just two different names. Also, when it comes to disc golf discs and knowing the true differences, there's discs out there that are very clear, and amateurs can very much tell the difference. It's understable, it's overstable. Now, when it comes to discs that are very, very similar but have touch differences, I believe pros probably have a much better understanding because they can duplicate their form, they can replicate it each time and throw pretty much the same shot. So they're more aware of the disc that maybe isn't as stable or isn't as consistent. Where amateurs, I truly believe that we overthink it a lot of the times because no offense to anybody, I guess I'm offending myself as well, but we can't replicate our form over and over like they can. That's the reason they're professionals and we're amateurs, and they still mess up. So, you know, sometimes I think we think about it a little bit too much. That's all. Hole 3 is actually sitting at 375. You can kind of see the top of the band there. Since it's a little bit uphill, I'm gonna try and go scorch here. Oh, get out of it. Yeah, flipped up too much. Try one more. I'm just throwing nose up, uphill, which is kind of a major problem. It's not gonna go very far. Probably a pretty common mistake though when you're throwing uphill to get that nose angle a little bit up. I think I could have even given that more of a line drive, a little bit better of a nose angle for it to penetrate further. Just a little short, man. player 2. Same putt, man. Putting and approach shots. That has been the worst part of my game recently. We're gonna act like that didn't happen. Worst part of my game recently, and usually that's the best part of my game. So, you know, kind of concerning. But also, today I'm just blaming the cold weather. I can barely feel my hands. I'm not leaving this hole until I throw one shot through that gap. Notoriously, I never make it through that gap. I mean, honestly, kind of made it through. That Zeus is becoming a little bit more flippy for me as of recent times. And I don't know if it's because I have more power. I feel like I do have more power, but then again, sometimes you never know. There you go. Oh, another too flippy of a disc. If I would throw the right disc, we'd have money shots right now. Be the one. There it is. Yeah, honestly, if I would have thrown that the first 2 times, it would have been a perfect disc, perfect shot. Kind of a bad disc selection on my end. Really, I'm just putting this because I'd like to see one putt go in. I have not yet to see a putt go in. Hole 5, 485 foot par 4. Road and beyond is OB. This is one where I can throw the time lapse and just know that it's never going to go OB unless I literally yank it that direction. Even with a windy day, I would feel confident throwing this. Now, I'm not gonna get a whole lot of distance, but I just wanna show you how this disc flies, so we're gonna throw it. I even threw it on hyzer for you. Look at the skip. Zeus, baby! Even if that disc is getting a little bit flippy, it's probably perfect for me. The Zeus has been so good for me recently that I've been contemplating getting some more in different plastics and just seeing if I could have that as my backhand distance driver, like pretty much always. So I'll get an overstable one, get an understable one. That one's pretty much perfect for hyzer flips. If I throw it flat, I could get a full kind of S-line out of it. This is the furthest I've ever been on this hole, I think. This is literally almost a jump putt for eagle. I'm gonna try it because I have to. I might not get close because it's kind of far still. Ah, yeah, still a little bit far for me. But like, this is super exciting. I might even be able to get a Hades a little bit further if I hit it just right. A lot more risk at play there. Honestly, probably not worth it, but on a fun round, it would be worth it. Just skipping over to this bomber, hole 11, 675 feet, par 4. To be honest, what sucks a little bit is the fact that we have a headwind. I'd really like to see how far I could get on this. That tree up there in the middle of the fairway is usually what I can get around. So if we can get anything past that, that'd be a really good sign. But like I said, we have a headwind, not sure about it. I'll start off with my more stable Halo Wraith. No, I just threw it too low. Let's see what this nuke can be about. A little bit of hyzer, flipped up to flat. Yeah, look at that thing. Hopefully you guys could see how much hyzer I put on that. So my Zeus no longer gonna be good for wind. So here's where our first one landed. I think our best shot is going hyzer around everything. That being said, I still have to miss some branches on this tree. I'm gonna try to go with this nuke. It's a little less stable than the time lapse, which means it has a better chance of maybe flipping up a little bit on hyzer and pushing straighter for longer. Whereas the time lapse would just try to get to the ground as fast as possible. Great stability, but it's not gonna get me the distance that I need. I don't know if this will either. First, I have to hit this line. Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, probably my best effort. So basically, just remember, just because you want something to dump heavy left, doesn't mean you need your most overstable disc, because that overstable disc isn't gonna push as far. Now, if you're looking for a shorter shot that dumps really hard, maybe that overstable disc is good. But if you want some distance, you can put something a little less stable on hyzer, have it flip up still on hyzer, but it's gonna push a little bit better. Come on, drop. There we go. That's pretty typical chasing chains behavior. Hole 13 here is 335 feet out in this wide open field. Really, the only tricky thing that could possibly happen here is usually wind. And right now, I don't really think it's all that windy. We're gonna try to throw my stable Leopard 3. Oh man, I'm releasing everything on hyzer, straight OB. That is something I've done with the time lapse a lot today, and apparently now my Leopard 3. So let's see if we can fix that. We'll just go Wraith. There it hyzers. That is just way too far. There's a TL3 maybe the whole time. Ground's wet, so it skipped a lot. Headwind putt. Cash. Twice hurts luck. Cash. Fun little island hole. Only 250 feet, but you have to make the island. We have a proxy in hand. I feel like that's still coming out on a little bit of hyzer, huh? It's a better shot. Faster disc. I don't know what's going on with the putting. There we go. I mean, that first putt, wow. Guys, if you have made it this far, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Content should be rolling out a little bit more consistently now that my busy season at work is over. Now, I could be wrong. They might just say, you know what, Max, screw you, we're gonna hit you with overtime. And that just messes up my whole week, especially with how dark it gets after work now. So, you know, if that happens, you know why there's no videos. But hopefully I can at least upload 1 or 2 long length videos a week. Hole 15, 550 feet, another par 4. I'm gonna try to open up with my Zeus here. Feels like maybe we have a slight headwind, if not just left to right. So if I get this turned over, it's expected to really go right, I think. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Oh, it's pushing right. Nah, it's nice and fading out very nicely. Just throwing it too low now. And this video really shows you the life of an amateur disc golfer, if you didn't already know. We're gonna wrap this video up on hole 18, 470 feet. They call it a par 4. To be honest, I feel like my discs are going everywhere right now, and so I didn't really want to mess with the water on 16 and 17. Didn't really feel like losing a disc today, which was hopefully unlikely, but it very possible. I'm gonna go lightweight nuke. If this shot is good, I'm only gonna throw this one and call it a day. That ain't bad. Wow, that was such a line drive. It's not very far, but like I said, they called it a par 4. So that is plenty of distance to hopefully get a birdie. A nice little approach shot with my jawbreaker zone to end this video off on a good note. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So happy to be able to get a video up, a full-length video. Obviously, I've done a lot of shorts recently, but finally got a full-length video up on this beautiful Wednesday morning. So gonna be afternoon for you guys, but hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you on the next one.